All right, good morning, gang. Good morning to Paul and
Hi.
to Raylene
Good
with
morning.
us this morning. Happy podcasting. We are live from the Fly on the Wall Productions studios on North Main Street in Barrie, Vermont. A little frosty this morning, 18 degrees, and Raylene, right out of the chute this morning, you've been monitoring a pretty good crash on Washington Street.
Which is all clear now.
Everything's
Yeah,
clear.
it's been clear for a little bit, but it snarled things up quite a bit this morning.
Yeah, and you said traffic was at a standstill.
Yes.
This was right
going
over by
north on 302. So they were detouring. If you were going up 302, they were detouring out Camp, and if you were coming down, they were detouring so that you would go out Nelson. And
Wow. So
Right
right
at
by
the
Patterson and Camp.
West Patterson and Patterson. Yeah,
Okay.
like that straight across move from
So
Spalding.
and there's been crashes in that area just past Quality Market in the past, and some real good ones too. So do we know what happened? Or no.
I don't. I know that it was a little bit slick this morning. I'm assuming everything when I say that probably, people are trucking along trying to get to work, school, this, that, and the other, and a little icy, and
And it was a little slick.
little
Little slick this morning, depending on where you are. Paul Brodie sitting right next to you. Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Hi, great.
How
How
many
are you?
cups? How many cups of coffee have you had, pal?
0. I've had some water.
Oh God.
Oh,
I'm not
know how
caffeine.
you do
I'm not
it.
caffeine dependent.
I don't need caffeine. All I need is some water and some yogurt, and I'm ready to go for the rest of the whole day.
That's how I say it, but I don't eat yogurt.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I don't really care for yogurt. I'm out of bed.
die.
I don't sleep. I wake up at every hour. I feel like I'm awake every hour or so.
Yeah.
Like I wake up and then I fall asleep into some crazy vivid dreams. I think I'm planes walking,
Is that
jumping
seriously?
to other portals. Yeah, perhaps.
So you don't
But I
need
do dream
caffeine.
a lot. No, I don't. I don't like the effect of caffeine. It feels like a panic attack.
I dream a lot too.
I don't
hate
like
it.
panic attacks, so I don't like to feel like I'm having a panic attack, so I don't drink caffeine.
Speaking of panic attacks, I am in a full-bore panic attack.
I don't believe you are. Let me see your wrist.
We're going to
Check
go
your
into
pulse.
weather. We're going to go into weather this morning. I'm going to pull up the details here from Roger Hill. But this goddamn polar vortex thing, we're going to get hit. I mean, hit right between the eyes by this thing. It's huge.
And all around our bodies, too.
All
Not
around
just between
us.
the eyes.
Check your
I could
neighbors.
handle
Check your
-40
neighbors.
right
Check
here.
your neighbors.
Yeah, definitely check on your neighbors. Obviously, make sure they're all right, especially the elderly and those that are less mobile and living at home an awful lot these days. Just make sure that they're okay. They got the heat on. Frozen pipes and all that fun shit. But this thing isn't going to last too long, though. I think it's what, Friday, Saturday, and then it's gone. We're in the clear.
Well, we'll still be
see.
cold. We'll be in the clear from 30 to 50 below, but we will be in the clear for,
It's still February.
Yeah.
right.
Well, it's not yet, but it will be by that point.
But Thursday, that's the day that the goddamn woodchuck comes out of the hole and looks for the shadow, and we take a shot on his head.
Correct.
Isn't
I
that
believe.
the
Isn't it
is
second?
that the
Is it
day?
the second? That's February 2nd. Is it the 2nd or is it the 1st?
Yeah, I
It's the
think
2nd,
that's
right?
Thursday. That's
It
when
is
we
Thursday.
that's when we
Thursday's
put the
It is.
bullseye on that son of a bitch's head and
Yeah.
blow his head off, regardless of whether he sees the shadow or not.
Well, if you're
Because-
hungry, yeah.
Well, because here's the thing: if he sees the shadow, which means there's 6 more weeks of winter, that sucks. If he doesn't see the shadow, then that means there's going to be an early spring, right? Which means he's going to get into your fucking garden and
Yeah.
eat
Oh
all your
my
lettuce
gosh.
anyways.
Well, that's why I put the fence up around my garden.
The fence isn't going to do
It
anything,
did.
Paul.
It stopped them. They don't eat my broccoli anymore.
No.
Well,
They'll
it
go
did.
under the fence,
The
Paul.
rat does, but the rat got caught in it. He went into my garden. Somehow he got in there. He ate too much of my vegetables, and then on his way back out, his belly was bigger. He couldn't get out the fence. He died there. It was like 90 degrees that
Seriously?
day. Yeah, I found him. One evening I go out, there's a long rat. It was one of the river rats.
Oh, yes.
Stuck, exiting my garden, stuck
Come
in the
on.
fence. I cut the fence part out because I didn't want to touch him.
I say either
And
way.
I buried him.
Take Chucky out. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Either way. He's gonna if it's an early spring, he's gonna get into the garden. End of story. Raylene, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
Raylene has much more important things to get into this morning. Please fill us in on what the hell's going on. Please, just will you take the wheel, please?
Sure. Well, like breaking news this morning is the 5-alarm fire on Main Street in Winooski. Several buildings involved. There have been a couple of injuries reported, a couple of people transported to the hospital. The last time I checked, no firemen had been injured at this moment. But as you know, it's cold. It's slippery. It's winter. Fighting fires in the winter sucks.
And that started early this morning?
It did around 5 o'clock. Big news, local. I think it's big news. It's not just local, all over Vermont, but the Everyone Eats program is coming to an end.
Yeah.
And they know it's going to affect a lot of people. They're just not. I mean, it's hard for all of us right now, and so it's a little bit scary for some people that they're not going to have that.
This has been chimed quite loudly in the news for the last couple of weeks. I know Capstone's been talking a lot about it, and the residual on this is massive. It's I don't think it's just the Everyone Eats program. There's going to be changes coming to
about every program that exists.
Yeah,
all
of them.
Programs,
SNAP benefits.
Yes,
everything.
Just about every program there is. The relief funding is coming to an end. The money that was given is pretty much all spent and done with.
Yeah, it's gonna have big effects.
Scary times.
And I know Rich McSheffrey's going to be in here at some point. I think February 20th is when he'll be back. And obviously we'll get serious with him on that and talk with him more about that. So
yes. They held the benefit at the Wayside last night.
Yes.
For Kathy Wellbridge.
Yes.
And that was absolutely incredible that I've heard. I was working, so I wasn't able to attend, but I heard it was massive turnout. So we love hearing that, of course.
Sure.
She is dear to our heart, and it's something that we promoted pretty heavily, and we are happy that they had such a good turnout. Let's see what else is happening tonight. It's the Tuesday meal at the American Legion.
Yeah.
So it's a turkey dinner tonight. Roast turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, vegetable, cranberry sauce, $10. Starts at 5:30. They do ask that you call so that they know how many meals there are. Or they're anticipating. It's not a must, but they prefer that you call. And that is dine-in or takeout, and that's right down here at the American Legion in Barrie. And, I mean, what a way to support them.
Yeah.
By having dinner for $10. That's a pretty big deal.
Sure it is, of course.
And they need our support. There are a ton of Valentine's Day events going on. Too many to list, but they're all up there. Go through the page. We have a wing eating contest coming up at the VFW on Route 302. How many hot wings can you eat? All the information's on the page. We have the dumpster dive coming up that you are doing over at Wilkins.
Yes.
We have the Brittany Burt Memorial Fund bingo game, which is also at the VFW coming up on the 26th, which you will be calling the numbers. We have a lot going on.
You're doing this without even having to look down at the notes.
Well, some things I know because we're heavily involved in.
You got it memorized.
Yeah.
That's insane. Do you have anything else? My God, that's...
that I have to look.
When's the Brittany Burt bingo?
The 26th.
Of February.
And I believe the day before... No, it was Sunday. The 25th is the wing eating contest also at the VFW, but the signups come to a close on the 18th. You got to sign up. You got to register by the 18th.
So is this a timed all-you-can-eat hot wings thing, or is it just...
I haven't seen all the rules. I don't think they've listed the rules for all of that yet. I think they've just said, how many of those things can you eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to tell Craig I think that he should enter.
Oh, Craig would do very well.
He
Probably
has
win.
kicked ass at the Buffalo Wild Wings a few times.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy. So that's going on. The dive, I believe, is the 11th.
It is.
February 11th.
And that's a
That's a Saturday.
Saturday.
The 10th. John Lyon and John, I can't remember his name. Sorry, will be in here.
the day
with
before.
us the day before talking about that.
That's going to be huge.
So, and JD's jumping into the dumpster of ice cold water.
I was
He's
going to ask what this dumpster is filled with, or what
so,
is it?
so CHAD, which is CHAD, which is the acronym for the Children's, I should know, hospital.
Yes, at Dartmouth.
At Dartmouth.
And it's it's for the heart care.
For children.
Yes.
The pediatric unit at
Yes.
Dartmouth.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fundraiser for that pediatric unit at Dartmouth. Basically, what's going to happen is over at Wilkins, they're going to take a dumpster. They're going to fill it with ice cold water and chunks of ice and snow.
I'm not going in it.
And then their folks who are somewhat deranged are going to earn money for CHAD as a benefit, and they're going to dive.
Yeah, we have to sponsor JD. Right now, you're lagging a little bit in the sponsorship, so we need to pick that up. We need to be beating this drum.
Where's the link? Do we have a link on that?
Of course, we have a link on
Why
that.
did I even ask?
Well, where is the link on
For
that?
God's sakes, it's on right on Aired Out, and we
Okay.
will continue to keep putting
So
it
if I
up
go to
there.
Air It Out, I'll be able to find this link.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sponsor JD to
Yeah,
get
Yeah,
it.
just
Physical
throw
water.
$5 in the pot, whatever, and then I'm gonna put on a.
You're gonna turn nuts to raisins.
I'm gonna turn my nuts
Just
to
like
raisins.
that, just like-
I'm gonna shrivel up.
you know,
All right.
just like
And
water.
I'm
So-
gonna
and
go.
wine.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I know this
first
is a
and
charity thing, so it's not about like being comfortable or something like
It's
that.
not
But
about
do you
being
get more money if you stay in longer? Because I can.
That's a very good
If
question.
you look up Wim Hof and study his method,
I
you've got
love
it.
Wim
Okay,
Hof.
all right. So if you got a month,
Wim Hof.
Wim Hof, he's the Iceman.
Oh gosh,
Do
You
know
can-
Wim Hof?
no,
You
I
gotta
don't
look
know
up Wim Hof. Wim Hof is great, but you can practice this. You got a month, and you get in that dumpster. You can stay in there for an hour.
No, not
Everybody
a
else
month.
will be getting
He's
in.
only got a few days.
It's this month.
February
Wait,
11th.
Oh,
No,
I thought
but
you
he's
said
saying
20.
once I get in the dumpster,
Oh,
I can.
yeah.
If I'm practicing my Wim Hof, I can get in there and spend like an hour in there.
Yeah, you
at
just hang
least.
out, and you'll be fine. And people will be getting in and out and freezing and having hypothermia, and you'll be sitting there still
Comfortable
drinking a milkshake
and happy
and hot wings,
So
and ice cream.
ice cream, and
we
hot
have
wings.
to tell Paul what happened.
You
Though.
don't have to tell me anything.
When I told him about this, and he said, and I said, I really want you to do this. He said, okay. He thought he was like jumping into a dumpster of trash.
Mm-hmm.
He asked no questions. So who's the dumbass in the whole thing? Not me. He didn't ask the questions.
I
He
thought I
didn't
was
say,
doing
what
a
am I
dumpster
jumping
dive
in?
into a dumpster full of trash.
I would rather go in the ice cold water than a dumpster full of trash.
Not me.
Well,
I'll
depends
take,
on where the trash is.
I'll take the coffee grounds and the eggshells any
And the
day.
baby diapers and the
Yes.
dog walkers' bags of poop they've been collecting for a month.
Fine.
All right.
Over ice water? Absolutely.
I have to be on standby with blankets and blackberry brandy. Instant heat.
Yeah, so I can get hypothermia faster.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that alcohol might make you feel. Does it really warm your body?
Long enough to
Maybe
get to the
adrenaline.
car.
Adrenaline might be better.
Long enough to get to the
What
car.
what's that shot you stick in your leg and it makes your heart beat faster? Epinephrine.
Epinephrine.
Yeah, you get one of those EpiPen. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is happening on, when is it again? Saturday the
10th. The 11th.
11th.
John and John will be in on the 10th.
So
but
perfect.
The dive is the 11th.
Day before the Super Bowl. So I'll be sick for the Super
You'll
Bowl.
be in the hospital. You can watch it
I'll
right from the
probably
comfort of
be
your
in the
hospital bed.
You're
Yeah.
exactly right.
And-
Perfect.
I'll have the recline.
Unless you get into the Wim Hof right now. You've got 2 weeks to prepare.
Exactly. And speaking of the Super Bowl, just a reminder to everybody, you can prepare for the Super Bowl right across the street.
Yes, you can.
They-
Yes. Nelson's Ace Hardware.
They sell TVs and
No.
recliners.
No.
No.
Better. They
Hot
have
wings?
grills.
Oh.
They have
For the hot
Traeger
wings.
grills. They have Yeti coolers, so you can cook up all your favorite stuff. You can keep your cold stuff right next to you on the couch. You don't got to miss anything while
Yeah.
you're running to the fridge. None of that.
All the
Everything.
kitchen utensils, everything that you could possibly need.
Those
You
catheters,
have
those
a-
personal catheters, you don't have to get up for a second.
Right.
Yes.
You just
4
and you
hours
can have
straight in
a
a chair.
kick-ass Super Bowl party.
I don't know that they have. They might. It wouldn't surprise me. But adult diapers, so that you don't even have to get off the
Well,
couch.
they have Pepto
Pepto-Bismol.
and icy hot patches, so you
They've
never
got,
know.
literally, they have everything at Nelson's.
You never
There you go.
know.
But they have a spice that you can put on your whatever you're cooking on your Traeger grill. They have a spice over there called pig's ass. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Does that sound appetizing?
Oh, it does to me. Does to
I
me.
mean, it's pretty obviously euphemism, so
I'll eat a pig's
I guess
ass
it's not disgusting, but
any day. Anyway, so
Good gracious Lord.
I guess that's the end of the podcast. Like, I don't know who else would ever advertise on this one again.
on a serious note,
Yes.
we have an intern, Jack Wolf, who's going to be starting soon, and he's observing. I'm afraid that we may be scaring him off, talking about eating a
his
pig's
chair is inching
ass.
slowly
I mean,
back.
Well, last week we introduced him. Last week was his first day here, and Tom was here, and I believe we ended the show talking about pot smoking.
Yes.
So I don't know if his parents are going
This
to
is-
really
I
be
hope
up
not.
on this education that we're giving him.
Wait,
Well,
how
I
old are
hope
you?
Really?
He's
How old are you?
18.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
he
I was gonna say,
wasn't
I'm a
talking
mandated
about
reporter.
pot
He's an adult?
smoking.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I was gonna say I'm a mandated reporter. If this
Yeah.
gets a little too out of hand, I got to
No,
report you guys.
He
Possibly myself,
He
too. I don't
wasn't
wanna do that.
talking about pot. We were just talking about it in front of him.
No, that's fair. You're even
But,
allowed to smoke it in front of him. Wait, I don't know about that. He's 18. He can't smoke it, but you might be able to smoke it in front of him without breaking any laws.
Yeah,
True.
well, we're
He's an
not
adult.
breaking laws.
He's not gonna
people.
get
No
arrested.
worries.
He can't buy it though, so he can't have it yet.
Right.
So
But you can.
Thank you.
before, like, I know that we're kind of on a crunch time, and
Yeah.
so, and you always get to steal the show with Paul, but today I want to steal the show with Paul. Okay?
Consider me part of the furniture today. I'm just here.
I want to. No, I want.
Oh, you
to
wanna talk
pick
to
your
me?
brain. I really want
I
to pick your
thought-
brain.
I thought you meant you needed to talk about stuff and you wanted us to stop.
Right now, we're back in a political season. I hate political seasons. Just telling you right now. They're my nemesis. One of my nemesis. But
Nemesis.
what I just don't understand why some people always, even if there's something really good, they will find the one bad thing. Or I feel like sometimes people spend so much energy in trying to be right instead of happy. And I've always chose happiness over being right because I just think that that's the smart thing to do. But there are some people that don't consider this space neutral territory. And they would do things with me, with Michael Booten, with JD, if we were willing to transport all of our equipment to a neutral space. First of all, it's not all that easy. You don't just pick this shit up and walk it up the street. So what is neutral? I don't understand what neutral is. The library was suggested, but what if I had a very traumatic experience as a child at the library, and I'm petrified at the library? Is it no longer neutral just because it's not neutral for me? I don't understand.
It's not neutral for you at that point.
Right.
Until you make it neutral for yourself.
I'm popping.
You
I'm
could.
popping popcorn right now because I love. This is going to be. I'm going to recline back. This is going to be good.
I really wanted to. I want your take on all of
Yeah,
that.
well, right. It's all in the eye of the beholder, as we've talked about. Like, what is truth? There's no truth. What are you drinking over there?
No, nothing.
All right. Yeah. So the thing loses its truth as soon as we start talking about it. So neutral it's neutral only to the person who's looking at it. Mm-hmm. I feel neutral here. But yeah, you're right. If something at the library is, if you've got some kind of memories there, something that's no longer neutral for you, so then who's neutral are we talking about? But this is the issue with politics in general, is that, or government is that it's always going to be somebody's going to decide something, whether it's good for you or not. You're going to have to live with it. So when you have an election, you're saying that here's two people, and so it's like you like this guy and I like that guy, and you say this guy is I want him to be in charge of all of us and help make rules for us. And I say, well, I don't like his ideas. I don't want him to make rules for me. I want this person to make rules for us, you and me both. And you say, well, I don't like that person's ideas. I don't want them making rules for me. And so then where do we stand? One of us is going to be happy when our person that we've selected gets in there and starts making rules for the other one. But then the other one is going to feel like I'm living under rules that I don't want to live under. So this is the problem with government in general. You're not going to be able to you're not going to. Not everybody's going to be happy. Not everybody wants to be controlled. I don't want to have any control.
I think the point that she's making is that we've made it very clear that anybody is welcome to come into this building and share a microphone with us, and that we as an imperfect human being are very easily convinced. We convince ourselves that certain people are aligned politically in certain ways when we create our own reality, which isn't always accurate. And my God, and we've laughed about this countless times, both on the air and off the air, that if you try to put just me alone, just one person, into a box politically, good luck. Good luck.
Right. Well, and it has to be this way because that's the way that you can control people. Is when people are uncertain, they're more easily controlled. And so when you create all this division and confrontation over certain, this is a small select group of ideas that really polarize people. And so when you've got these 5 or 6 things, and people are just draw a hard line. I'm on this side or that side, and they don't want to discuss it. They don't want to say, well, what about in this condition or what about in that condition? They just want to say, I'm on this side, I'm on that side. Then they're easier to control.
I guess what makes it harder for me is that I believe that I truly am somewhere in the middle. I think that I have
Most people are.
a mind that is open enough to hear a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and just process it and be kind to both sides, because I think that we can all take a little bit from everybody.
Respect.
It's all boils down to being respectful of one another, and your choice to have your thought and my choice to have my thought, but still being able to sit here next to each other and not want to be unkind or hurt each other.
Right, because they're just ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And how do you prove an idea is better than another idea?
Right.
you don't.
You can't. Well, if you say let's change the tire with this or like the tire thing.
Yeah.
You just
versus
you
like hand
literally
pliers. Okay, one idea is better than the other, but
right.
But that's like so there are some practical things that you can test out, but then there's a lot of things that we're talking about, like these moral ideas and stuff like that. There's no really way to determine if one idea is better than the other. I mean,
You
other
literally
than
spend your life trying to be right, and is it when is it? I just find it to be super unhealthy to be right instead of happy. I would rather be happy than right.
I choose peace instead of happiness, but it's the same kind of idea.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, in my
but,
mind, same.
Yeah, because I think because happy can so if something unhappy happens in your life, do you reject it? Do you resist it, or do you accept that this is a sad time?
Oh, I absolutely accept that it's
Okay.
a sad time. I think that so I guess peace. I find peace in certain things. And I've always said that I rather just find the peace in everything so that I don't have to walk around miserable every day.
So where is this stemming from? Where for you, Raylene? Where is this coming from?
Just recent things, recent events, inviting people here that are, running for different offices, but just in not just right now either, over the whole time that we've been here. and the fact that, there's a group in Barrie called the Barrie Values, and the crazy thing about this group is that they have put so much hate on me and you, but what they don't, they have
Me?
Well, you, us,
Give me their
whatever,
names.
all of us.
I'll talk to them.
But I'm just saying, the fact. But
fuck did I do?
Well, that's the thing. What
didn't
did
you
you
do?
do? But what didn't we do? But the fact is what really is a bitch about the whole thing for me. And I can find peace in it all. But what is a bitch about the whole thing is that some of the things that they believe and say and project, I believe in my heart too.
Mm-hmm.
Just not the whole way.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's what's going on.
But
in the
that
world
doesn't
today.
make
It's
me
culture.
the evil. It doesn't
No, of
mean
course
that
not.
I'm some evil person.
Nobody's
that,
evil. Except for the evil people.
It just
That's
means
debatable.
that. So I believe that and I could be wrong, just because this is the perception of myself. I believe I am somebody that is truly diverse and somebody that is very accepting of equality and I feel that way, that what makes me that way is my ability to respect your opinion
Well, you
and
have
be
to, you have
and
to get
be
to know you.
have an
though.
open heart
got a
to your
question for
opinion
you.
and an open mind to your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because your opinion, maybe it makes me grow just a little bit. Maybe I just have to be kind to you and say and listen to you.
What's
But that doesn't mean I have to walk away and I adopt everything that
Right.
Paul Brodie just said
Right.
to me.
You
Right.
shouldn't.
Right.
And I don't like to say should or shouldn't, but I'll definitely say shouldn't on that one.
Yeah.
But it's worth listening to and perhaps adopting
Right,
some of
because
it.
you never know what little piece, and even if
Mm-hmm.
you don't adopt it all, there might be this one little thing in there that sticks in your mind, and you just take it away like, wow, I never thought of that.
Right.
Give yourself that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Is where I stand with all of that.
Yeah, that's how we don't know things until we're exposed to them, until we become aware of them. And a lot of times we judge ourselves based on things we didn't know and we should have known, or we couldn't have known them yet. So if you're not, we look at it and we say, oh, I should have known better. Well, you can't know better if you're not open up to new ideas. So if you look back and you ever had a time where you said, I should have known better, you couldn't have until you learned it, and that was the experience you learned it in. But now remember that and then look forward and say, okay, well, if there was something I didn't know then, what don't I know now?
Right.
And how do I go forward finding more?
Right.
I've learned more from people who disagree with me than people who do agree with me, because people who you are in agreement with, you are talking about the same things. You're just rehashing the same things you already accept and already agree upon. That's where these two parties are ridiculous, because you're just, once you become, I'm going to be part of this party now, so now I adopt all of their beliefs, and then whoever
and then you learn nothing.
Right, and you forget things. But like the people who have the most clout in that group, you then adopt their ideas and their perspective with just because it's part of the group. So that's this in-group stuff.
Birds
And-
of a feather.
Yeah, Edwin Sutherland. Birds of a feather flock together. And this brings back to like when you were saying that, so you feel like you're diverse and open and all of this. And so then my question is, why does it matter what anybody else thinks then? If you've already got that piece with those things in your life, why does it matter if somebody else is judging you in any way?
It doesn't. To me, it doesn't really matter that they're judging me. Like I think that I can swallow and deal with the fact that you're judging me. Go ahead, judge me, do whatever you want. It's not really that. It's more frustration that
They don't think the same way you do. And I'm not.
no,
I,
not
this
that
is,
they
I,
don't
I
think
this
the
is where
same-
it comes down to us.
Not
But
that
I
they
do the
don't
same
think
thing.
the same way that I do, but they're not willing to even know how I think.
Right. Well, that's what I think it's the same thing. So you're concerned.
Like I would
feel
love
this
to
way.
get to know some of
We
them.
want to be understood.
Right.
No, I don't want to be. I don't even have to be
Okay.
understood. I just want. I want to be able to be. Most of these people I've never even met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
They know nothing about me. You know, they know nothing about my life history. They may not know that I had an abusive childhood, that that I really fucked up early in life and spent 3 years in jail, that I have.
Well, now they know.
Well, they
all
know
coming
anyways
out.
because I've said it
Yeah, I
on
know,
air
you're
many
talking about the same
times.
thing.
I don't hide my past because I did wrong things, but I don't have to be ashamed for the rest of my life. I don't believe that, and nor do I believe that anybody should.
Yeah, nobody should.
And so, I don't hide any of that stuff. If you want to know something about me, just ask me.
Yeah.
Well, so why is it important for you that they know these things?
It's not important that they know them.
But it seems like you're saying that you want them to know these things.
No, I want them to know that I'm not unapproachable, I guess. I want them to know that that I want to learn from them. Like, I want to learn from everybody.
Maybe they don't want to teach you.
Right. And
that's okay
the
too,
sad
right?
part.
Right.
Well, it has to be okay.
Well, and this is what I'm saying, like,
but it makes me sad. It does make me sad.
No,
I
feel
will wholeheartedly
I feel what you're
admit
saying.
that. Yeah.
I agree. I feel that too. I don't know that we need to, but I
Mm-hmm.
think this is something that I think I would like to work out of myself. But I do feel like that it's an element of external validation that we're seeking. Or imposition of will. Like, after like getting into the Tao Te Ching, it's about like, don't impose your will on anybody, because you destroy their life and you destroy your own life when you try to impose on somebody else. So I really try to focus on that. And so if I look at somebody and I think, I wish they thought this way, wouldn't it be easier if they thought this way too, or they thought the same way, whatever. Why am I doing that? It's because to me, I think I have this deeper level of attachment to that line of thinking or that opinion. And maybe it would, on some kind of objective level, maybe it would be better if everybody had that approach. But the reason I want everybody to have that approach is because it would make it more comfortable for me. So I'm trying to catch myself when I think those things. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but just something to consider. Why do we get any kind of emotional reaction when somebody does or doesn't do something? And we look at them and say, why aren't you doing it this way? That's not my way. Okay, that's it. There's no need to put anything into it. We don't need to have any kind of emotional reaction to it. You say, I take a stand here, and they say, I take a stand over here. And you say, do you want to discuss it? And they say, no. You say, okay. And maybe it would be more comfortable for you or more enjoyable if they would talk about it, or if they would see it the same way you do, but they don't need to. And I think,
they don't need to.
I think you agree with that. You feel that way.
I do feel that
way. But
way.
I think even if we have that, because sometimes it takes a while for us to get our thoughts into our practice, and so like our every day, everybody's in a practice. Doctors have a practice. As a counselor, I have a practice, but we're all practicing every day because it's all brand new to us. We've never done this before. I've never been this right here in this moment. This me right now. I've never been this before. This is new to me, and this conversation is changing something about me, and I'll move forward. It can't. Well, it has the potential to, right? But if I close off and I say, I don't know what she's talking about, I don't know what this guy's doing, I didn't, and I can come in the way I came in, I will leave the same way if I'm not open, if I'm not receptive to new things, or if I'm expecting validation or agreement from people. I can come in here thinking I'm going to change their minds on this topic, and then if you don't change your mind on that topic, then I'm going to leave saying, well, what's wrong with those people? Well, what's wrong with me for wanting to change your mind on this topic? Why do I need? And that's back to this politician stuff. Why do I need this person to agree with me? And so if I'm running for office, I want everybody to agree with my opinions or my party's opinions. Why? Why is that so important?
It's why I can't vote party. I just can't. I have never. I don't think that I have ever truly chosen a line. There might be a handful in this party, this election. There might be a handful here and a handful there. Those are the people. So I have a really hard time when it comes to.
Yeah.
Well, it's all collusion.
Going to the polls.
There's not like one of you said put you in a box, or even you you can't put us in a box. I mean, some people jump into the box willingly. I'm climbing out of the box. I don't want to be in that box.
No, me either.
Because there's so much more outside of the box.
Yep.
Like the Truman Show, when she says, "What do you want to be?" to little Truman, he says, "I want to be an explorer," and she pulls down the map and says, "Sorry, buddy, it's all been explored. It's already been found."
Yes.
And so, what's the point? And
Yeah.
that's the evil element, the they. Whenever people say the they are doing this, whatever. I don't know who they is. It's not a person. It's not a group of people. It's anyone who's collectively part of this effort to stop you, to stop you from creating. We're creative beings. That's why we exist. As far as I can tell, I don't know why we exist. Nobody does.
Right.
Nobody knows.
I would rather have a million colors on the page than two.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Well, sometimes black and white's all you need.
Yeah.
So, but having the option of it, if you're in a box and you've only got two colors, but there's other colors outside the box, then get outside the box. Go out there. Go look and think and see, feel and experience.
I was skimming Facebook, of course, like most often, and I came across a video from America's Got Talent with this woman called Nightbird, and I think like other people should maybe watch it too. It's just
Why?
pretty
So we
intense.
can validate your experience?
No.
Come on, Raylene.
No, not that at all. But because of something that she says that I think that we all could learn a little bit. And like I said, I think this is my opinion. You don't have to have this opinion.
We all
but
have
she
opinions.
says you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy. Ooh. And I guess that's what I mean by that. It's choosing peace over.
Yeah. Stop recovering. Start living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By God.
I mean, really? Yes.
Live your life.
Right.
We don't know why we're here.
And I
So,
just
why confine yourself?
but that like resonated with me because of this, like all of this situation. I
Sure.
just feel like, yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I just feel like more so now than ever, we always search, no matter how good something is, we always search for something bad.
Oh, yeah.
I do it too. I go, I can have a great day and fuck it all up by deciding to go grocery shopping. I mean, just because of the cost of things, and then I can cry and whine all the way home.
Right.
Why didn't I just wait until Monday to go? I was having a great day.
Sure.
Because it's our life patterning addiction kind of mindset. We get into the routines, and that's the comfortable place to be. It's the way to feel it. I just saw there's a little graphic I saw yesterday. It's yin yang or yin yang for you Americans. I'm American too, but I think it's pronounced yang. Yan. I don't know though. But the yin yang, it's the black and white, and so it symbolizes that there's life and death in all things. There's lightness and dark in all things. So even you have your dark side of the circle and your light side of the circle, and then within the light side of the circle, there's that black dot representing there's still darkness in the light, and in the light light spot in the dark circles, there's lightness in the dark, and so this is like. So that to me is having peace no matter what's going on. Mm-hmm. So recognizing that you can still be happy even when the situation around you is difficult, or don't wait for the times to get easier before you choose happiness. Choose peace. I choose peace now, and that's accepting that in this existence that all things are simultaneously there, and there's a season where you're going to have happiness and joy, and there's a season where you're going to have despair and pain and suffering. But you can also, even in that season of despair, there's still light, and even in the season of joy, there's still darkness. Mm-hmm. And so you don't have to. It's not one or the other. But again, everything tries to divide us into these categories. It's this or that. It's not. There's a million. There's. We create everything in our experience. Whatever you want it to be, it's what it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And if you're expecting it to be a certain way, then you're probably going to do things to make it turn out that way. So let go of your expectations. Have intentions.
Even subliminally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Set intentions and have plans and stuff and work towards them. But don't get so tied to the expected outcome that when it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, then you can use that as an excuse to be miserable.
Right.
Because that's your comfort zone.
Before we scoot out of here, are you going to be watching this green comet tomorrow night?
No, I'm not.
No, because every time I say that I'm going to look at something like that, I never see it.
Because
I spent all this time
clouds
out there looking.
Get rid of these clouds, Paul.
Oh, man, you're the
and I never see
stereotypical old man shouting at clouds now. He became that. That's a meme or something. He just became that guy.
Yep.
Wow.
But are the clouds? Is it going to be cloudy tomorrow night? We're not going to
Probably.
be able to see
I don't
this?
know. You're the weather dude today. You've got what Roger Hill's shit there. I would
15
assume
degrees.
as
All right, well,
cold
so
as
how
it's
close
gonna
is
be,
this comet?
probably not.
How close is this comet?
I'm so glad you
Because they always
asked.
say comet missed Earth by a whisker. It was 45 million miles away. I'm like,
Well,
okay, that's a big whisker.
The green comet tomorrow night, I don't know how far it's going to be away, but I know that we just brushed an enormous asteroid about the size of a box truck that passed 2,200 miles only.
Only 2,200
from
miles.
from the southern tip of South America about five or 6 days ago. That's 10 times closer, Paul, than some of the communication satellites out there. 10 times closer, Paul.
Than some of the it's all about how it's written. Some of the communications satellites, which you can never see when you're watching the ISS live feed. You never see any of the communication satellites. So that's interesting.
This is a rock
Nothing's
the
up
size
there.
of a goddamn box truck.
Yeah, there's box
Floating
trucks drive up
around.
down.
Right.
Yeah. So
Almost hit the earth, Paul.
no, it didn't.
Ah!
Show it to me. When did it almost hit the Earth? Where? 22,000 miles off the tip of
No,
South America.
2,200.
2,200 miles.
2,200.
All right.
Are you sure? About
Yes,
that?
right here, 2,200.
Yeah.
Let me put on my goddamn readers.
2,200. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Southern tip of South America.
And how? What's the altitude that they say space begins? Do you remember?
I don't.
Did you watch any of that?
No, I
William
don't.
Shatner going to space stuff?
I don't.
Okay, so I don't remember now. It's somewhere like 72 miles.
Something.
72 miles, and you're talking about 2,200 miles.
Yes.
Okay, so space is 72
It's
miles
close,
away.
Paul. It's close.
Relatively. When you look at these fictitious imagination numbers that they put the sun's distance and moon's distance at, yeah, it's close.
You've always wanted a pond in your backyard. That's it right there. I mean,
Yeah,
if it were
sure.
to hit, that would be
Bring it.
We'd all be swimming at your house.
My backyard is the size of a box truck. So
You have some new music that's coming
Yeah.
out. Can you tell? Do share, please,
nah,
and drop in. I've got the CD in my hand. I'll be giving
it's not.
this.
It's just the songs. It's not the CD. I haven't printed any CDs. It's
Right.
just available for streaming.
All right.
Yeah, it's called Break Up, Break Down.
Yeah,
Songs I wrote
listened to
like
them
10 years
already.
ago. Did you?
Yeah.
Good. It's great, huh? If you like punk rock music.
This guy's—he's
crazy
amazing.
voice?
I mean, he's incredible.
If you put a little alerts on your phone, you can tell when Paul puts some music on there.
I've
And-
already
There you go.
subscribed to his YouTube page.
Good. Subscribe again. Subscribe all the time.
Do tell how do people find you?
On
Where do they go?
YouTube, if you search Paul Brodie Music, I've got a channel I started putting videos on. But if you go to Spotify or iTunes or anywhere, there's like 18 different places. If you go to anywhere you would stream music from and type in Paul Brodie, there's a guy that plays saxophone. He's probably going to come up first because he's been at this longer than I have, but you'll find me.
You're an
Listen to my name.
interesting dude. You're a
Thank you.
musician. You're
I have to go to my office now.
a musician, philosopher, psychiatrist, psychologist,
neither
licensed
of those
alcohol.
things. I'm not
Now,
one.
I'm telling you what you are.
Legally, I have to say I'm not, otherwise they're going to get me
No.
for stolen credentials or something. What's the equivalent of
I
stolen
don't
valor
know.
in the
I don't know.
academic world?
False identity.
Yeah.
I love you, pal. Thank
I
you
love
for
you
coming in
also.
here, Raylene.
And Raylene.
Great
Wait
stuff.
a minute. We have something. So Hillary Scott says Newport, Vermont is set to be the place to be for the path of totality for the 2024 eclipse. People from all over the world are supposed to come.
Oh my God! Thank you, Hillary. That's
Live broadcast.
That's freaking awesome.
Yes.
Aired out on
I'm
the road.
going up there.
2024, aired out on the road. Newport,
Maybe we
Vermont.
can get Chad Hollister to do a concert at the same time up there, and we can all sit around listening to Chad Hollister up there in Newport with Jacob Green and a few others that we know that love to be up there.
Yeah, I would love to.
Maybe we can get Paul
I
to.
don't really play live anymore.
Tomorrow night,
I'll be the keynote speaker about why this is nonsense.
Paul and I are going to be in my backyard with snowshoes, puffing on a big fatty, looking up at the green comet.
All right.
Have a great day, everybody.